Try to imagine yourself buying something like this to a cafe racer project, but without telling your wife. And now, let's see the consequences in the moment you arrive home.
Now you've done it!
Well, maybe I'm exaggerating, but just a little bit. If you are thinking building a cafe racer machine, this video will give you 5 good reasons to do it. It will help you convincing your wife that a cafe racer bike can be a very good choice. Welcome to Racer TV. I'm going to start with the less important reason to have a cafe racer, which is this: a good investment. When you buy a new motorcycle, you can be sure that you are going to lose money every day. In 5 years, it will depreciate about 50% of the initial value. But if you buy a 30 or 40 years old bike and convert it to a cafe racer style, the value will probably increase along the years. Just like every classic with wheels. This means that will always be a good investment. After explain this to your wife, maybe, and just maybe, she would react this way.
Sweetheart, be reasonable. After all, we're married.
The 4th reason is timeless. A cafe racer machine is like an old jewelry. It will never get old. Everything that is considered classic, it will not be out of fashion. And if you look to some new motorcycles, several models are already based on the 60s and 70s look. This means that a good old cafe racer will always be an original stylish machine, and therefore, timeless. To prove this to your wife, try to offer her something like an old jewelry, and I'm sure she will love it, just like
And
this.
It's so beautiful. I mean, I just can't tell you how much I appreciate it.
And the 3rd reason is cheap maintenance. Most part of old motorbikes are reliable and easy to maintain. The engines are simple, and most maintenance work can be done by yourself in your garage. Even if you don't have experience with mechanics, you can find on the web several videos with tips, which will teach you how to do it. In most countries, the annual taxes and insurance are inexpensive for old motorcycles. So, if you want a bike with a cheap maintenance, a good old cafe racer is the best that you will get. Imagine the reaction of your wife when she see you dressed like a mechanic, just like in her erotic fantasies.
What's up, ladies?
Hey, look who it is, Bob the Builder.
And the 2nd reason is fun. There is nothing like driving an old classic bike. The experience has no comparison with new motorcycles. The exhaust note is loud enough. The engine noise will always remember you that you are driving a machine with mechanical parts. You will feel the engine vibration as the second language of the bike. With time, you will learn to interpret the vibrations and know how the engine is running. You will love the smell of your own bike, which is usually a mixture of gasoline and oil. All this makes the driving experience very rich and interesting. It is what transmits the personality of your motorcycle. None of these features exist in a modern motorcycle, because they were developed with advanced technology, which means that in most cases, driving becomes a little bit boring. This is why many of you say that a modern bike have lack of soul. But if you want a fun driving, there is nothing like a good old cafe racer machine. So, about fun, maybe it's better you keep this secret of your wife.
Silence! I kill you!
This is one of those things that she shouldn't know. At least in the beginning. And finally, the first reason. It is cool. It's very hard to explain this. All I know is what I hear. When people see a cafe racer, the first words are, "What a cool machine." And if they say it, that's because it's probably true. After all this, you will get so cool that your wife will start to see you in a different way.
Dad, there's something I want you to know. You were the best assignment I ever had. Really.
I'm honored.
You sure you don't want to? Just for old time's sake? Come on. If you don't trust me, you can tie me up.
At least, is what we like to
You're
believe.
so kinky.
Maybe it's time you found out.
By the way, be careful with your cafe racer, because your wife can like it as much as you.
Igual se le da la picadilla de la de Dios, igual es perfectísima. ¿Te imaginas que te monte la moto y todo el tema así y todo? Ah, se va.
Thank you for watching Racer TV. And as always, I hope to see you next week. Thank you for watching Racer TV. And as always, I hope to see you next week. Thank you for watching Racer TV. And as always, I hope to see you next week. Thank you for watching Racer TV. And as always, I hope to see you next week. Thank you for watching Racer TV. And as always, I hope to see you next week. Thank you for watching Racer TV. And as always, I hope to see you next week.